everybody, good morning. This is Jean here. Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for You. I'm in my sewing room. I'm not going to be doing any sewing. I'm going to be doing a craft this morning. I just fancied it. I've been doing a lot of embroideries lately because I do have a plan for my little embroidered blocks. I do believe I'm going to be making a quilt out of them, flushing them out with some fabric. So I've been doing a tremendous amount of embroidery, and I have, because I'm not going to be framing them using the hoops, I have a few hoops left over. And I thought these are just plastic hoops, but what in the world could I do with them? This is not my idea whatsoever. I had seen it on was it an Instagram reel or something like that? One of those real quick things, and I quickly shared it to myself. And then I looked it up, and they're sort of common on Pinterest, if you have Pinterest. A handkerchief wreath. It's a little bit off of what I usually do, but what it is I've been for years collecting vintage or pretty handkerchiefs, and I've gotten quite a few messages because I have made maybe 4 or 5 handkerchief quilts. I've made rag quilts, and I've made just regular quilts with cotton batting using vintage handkerchiefs. Now my quilts, because the handkerchiefs, usually from the maybe 40s or 50s, are very thin. They're very, very thin, the ones that our nanas used to use, or in my case, my mom used to use them. I made a quilt using all of my mother's handkerchiefs, and that's very precious to me. So these are very thin, and when I make quilts, I stabilize them. And I did do a tutorial recently, or last year, on how I made a handkerchief little ruffled cushion, how I stabilized the hanky. But again, I have a load of these, and quite a few people have said, I have a lot of handkerchiefs. What can I do with them? I'm just going to put my camera down, and I'm going to share how other people have shown me how to make a sweet little handkerchief wreath. Now, what you do need is you need your hankies, you need a hoop, non-metal elastics. You're going to be needing little tiny elastic bands. Little tiny elastic bands. My wreath's going to be very colorful. You probably won't even be able to see them. They're just little tiny elastic bands. Perhaps for putting in braids for your hair when you don't need a big, huge scrunchie or a bigger elastic band. So these are little tiny ones. You are going to need them. That's it. You're going to need your elastic bands. Now, I was sort of playing around with this, and I don't know what size hoop this is. 7-inch hoop, something like that. I think it gives directions on the Pinterest thing. Oh, I really should do my homework better. But I want it really full, my wreath. So it actually depends on how many hankies you have. One, or I think it's like 2 hankies cover 1 inch of your hoop. So you need quite a few of them to make it nice. But if you wanted your hoop to show, I actually had a larger blue hoop. But then, of course, I thought, you know, and if the blue had shown through, I would have been okay. But then I thought that's really ridiculous, because this is the circle inside, and all of the beauty is outside. So if you have a smaller hoop, it's going to be even more pretty. But this is what I have. I had that one, but that's way too big. So I'm going to be using this one, and it won't show probably. So what I'm going to do, with no further ado, I'm going to put my camera down, and I'm going to show you how Pinterest has shown me how to make a very pretty floral handkerchief hoop. Pretty little craft to do. So I hope you enjoy the video, folks. So again, I have my pile of hankies here. I have been collecting them and ironing them, pressing them really well. I have a couple of sizes. I'm going to be using the larger sizes. I have my hoop. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I was experimenting, but I guess I can just go over that. Anyway, it's very easy. I'll just show you a few of them, and then I'll speed it up and finish my wreath. Let me just open up that. And what you do is with the well, these are both pretty sides. You have your folds of your hanky, having folded your hanky in a half and then half again. You have your fold, and then with the point of the fold up there, and like so, you're bringing your points together to make this, to make that shape there. Let me just put this over, you see if to make that shape there. And then what you do is you're going to put your hanky point inside underneath your hoop, and then you're going to bring your point up here, and I'm trying to make my hanky as big as possible over here, but so that's about a 2-inch, maybe 2.5 inches. But if you wanted to go up a little bit higher, you're going to have a smaller bit of your hanky. But I was experimenting, and I like about 2 inches. And I'm folding my point over, and then what I'm doing is I'm folding this in here to make this, we're going to secure our hanky right there. I'm just going to grab any color. I have orange, and they're pretty good, these little, you absolutely need these little ties, these little elastics. All you do is you put it over there. It's not rocket science, I'm telling you. You put it over as close you can to the hoop, and then I do it again to secure it, okay? And then I sort of pull it down. It's very, very simple, and probably you guys have done this already. You just sort of pull that up to secure it like so, and then I'll do another one and I'll show you. I think I'm just going to do all different colors so as not to, so make it random. And again, I'm going to fold my hanky like so. I'm going to put it in about 2.5 inches, fold it up like that. Take my rubber bands. Oh, the rubber bands are tiny. Just excuse my clumsy fingers. Put them over, and then I'm doubling the band again. And then you just sort of mess about like so. Side of our wreath. That's how it's going to end up. Real pretty like that, with all of the gathers here. So as you can see, when it's all scrunched together, the more scrunched together it is, and the hoop is covered, the prettier it's going to be. So I'm just going to continue folding my hankies. I'm going to make a pink one again, folding my hankies, putting it under my hoop, about 2 inches, holding it, securing it. And then adjusting it. So as you can see, when I turn it over, oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. So pretty. So yeah, so let me continue. Oh, it's so pretty. Look at that. Now these were a little bit smaller, but oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that. Now, oh, I love that. So let me just tell you, for this 7-inch hoop, to make it look like that, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 decent sized hankies. A few of them were smaller, so I actually did the the little rubber band 3 times to secure it, but it's okay. It looks so pretty. And I didn't use the huge ones. Mostly I used the same size hankies to make my beautiful wreath. Oh, and maybe a ribbon or something up there. Or maybe I could just disguise that and hang it. Yeah, hang it on that little hanger there. Ah, it's so pretty. I hope you enjoy this little crafternoon, folks. I'm so very pleased with that. Yeah, what to do with your Nana's vintage hanky. So I quite love my lovely little wreath here. But what I'm going to do is I'm looking at these holes, and there was an idea on Pinterest again, and they wound, I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't have any ribbon. They wound ribbon, like a beautiful ribbon. All I have is bias tape. So I'm just going to experiment to see how like a pretty ribbon, if I had a ribbon, would look. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this bias tape up here somehow. Let's see, this is the front. Well, I'm just going to do this messing about. And then what I would do is, I should have thought this out, is wind this around. Let me see. Oh, my phone. Wind this around like this, and then between each hanky, just keep winding it around. So again, I won't bore you. I'll see what it looks like at the end. And again, you must remember, yeah, so that's that. I'll secure that somehow. And each space, just wind your ribbon. This isn't real pretty because it's just bias tape, but you get the idea. I'm going to see what that looks like. You'll just get a little hint of color. I think that'll be pretty. So yeah, it's done. I think that's really pretty. Just added a little tiny bit of interest to the hoop there. And I'm going to be putting like probably, I don't have it, like a ribbon or a bow right there, and maybe hook it at the top or the bottom, but you get the idea. And again, that's not ribbon, that was just bias binding. But I think that looks pretty, sort of like a candy cane striped effect. And you know me and my red and white stripes. I think it looks so very pretty. I love it. I do hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, folks. So grab some hankies. Actually, these would be pretty with just starched squares of fabric if you have. What a lovely idea. And a nice little edge, and maybe trimmed or whatever. It's a sweet idea. I like it. All right, folks. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.